Hey guys, CryptoPop here.
Hi.
Hey, again with my girl, Marlene, you know what's up. So, anyways, I was thinking about it and I figured, hey, I want to give you guys a little bit of experience from time that we've been together. We've been together many years and just a little something I wanted to kind of hit on. So, a big issue that I see that a lot of people run into in across their relationships seems to be eventually that starts to cause problems is the issue of going out. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So that one, funny enough, even though it seems like something fairly minuscule, can actually be pretty huge, to tell you the truth. And I think it actually causes a lot of issues in a lot of relationships. A friend of mine actually told me something very similar, not too long ago, that had to do just with that. Just like, I think that most every experience is just like we've been through in the past. So generally, what the issue with that is that the couple, for the most part, doesn't initially kind of decide what it is or what's kind of acceptable for them in the relationship, in the sense of going out independently with each other people. It's not specifically established, because a lot of people just presume, hey, we're adults and we're just going out, we're going out. And that's all fine and dandy. However, you'd be surprised how that starts to bring on problems, especially if you're a person who maybe from the get-go just like to go out all the time, or doesn't like to go out. That's another big one too, right? So the person doesn't actually like to go out almost at all. So in that sense, so I've found, for example, one major issue would be, of course, a basic one, which is the issue of jealousy, right?
Yeah.
So that's always something, both from the male and the female side. It could be whichever side, but you can easily find that, the guy or the girl can say, hey, well, nah, I don't want you to go out because it's too late, or, well, who's gonna be there, and you ask a million questions trying to find out every little itty bitty detail of a party or a club they're going to, or a house or whatever. And the person's just like, hey, look, I'm just going out, just gonna have a good time, whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so it could be an insecurity issue, or like you're saying, just jealousy, a trust issue.
Yeah. I mean,
I know that for us specifically, from the beginning, you would go out. I never minded. The issue for me was then when it got to a point where you never wanted it for me to go with you, and then on top of that, you didn't really like me going out on my own either. So I kind of had to really make it clear to him, that it's like he said, we're both adults. If he has the right to go out on his own, then I'm gonna be doing the same thing, and that's pretty much what it is.
yeah. So I know when I was younger, I always had, no bounds, right? So, or boundaries. Say I just, hey, go wherever I want, however I pleased. With no kind of anything, not letting anybody know. Generally, it's not really the best thing, but it's just whatever. It's just the way that you get used to doing things. So, I like to go off on my own and stuff like that. And it's not necessarily that I was trying to look to, hey, just go and be with someone else or anything of that nature. But sometimes if you want to go out with just the guys, having, let's say, partners around, you'd be surprised how much that could sometimes start bringing almost like a monkey wrench in, if, let's say, just a group of men or women. Just like if a woman brings her man and it's just a bunch of other girls, sometimes it could kind of throw the balance off for the group. So that those are things that then start needing to be established by.
Definitely, at one point or the other, you're gonna have to talk about it in the relationship.
Yep.
So from my experience personally, I had to do something that made me seem completely crazy or insane to get my point across that, hey, you're not gonna be doing these things that make me feel, you know, I don't know, I guess that, yeah, like a double standard. You know, like how you were saying, you know, that same term you used in your last video, that to me felt like a double standard. You know, the fact that you were able to go out and whenever I went out, then you kind of made me, almost giving me like a guilt trip, you know, making me feel bad because would be upset with me when I got home and things like that. And then on the other hand, whenever you were going to go out, you never wanted to invite me. I mean, I was never invited, but then you wanted to invite all of your friends and even female friends and things like that, but I wasn't allowed to go because you wanted to have your time, you see. And that was like, man, I have to do something really drastic, really big for him to realize that that's not going to go down. Like, I'm not going to stand for that. I know what, you know, I have to really.
So
yeah.
So pretty much in that sense, exactly as things are going. So you see how it's easy for things to kind of get to a level and then just start going from there and going. So sometimes then the person might feel, hey, they need to do something a little more drastic to get your attention, because it's easy for people to fall off of that, especially us men. You know, we're real good about that kind of stuff. But of course, as the years go by, you get a little better about stuff, and you learn, you know. And I think that a lot of people have this issue, but so truthfully, you need to start seeing that really, when it boils down to it, again, the best thing to do is sit down with the person and really talk with them, you know, and try and really understand each other on what's pretty much okay in the relationship for you guys and what's not really okay, or what's not going to be liked or make the person feel maybe not even maybe at that point it's not even a trust issue, but maybe an issue of feeling a little insignificant, you know, versus the friends or even family members. So it really just depends on the person, but it could also be, they said, a matter of insecurities, which you know, plenty of people also have their level of insecurities. So something like a family member, you know, can make that person feel, you know, belittled or a little more insignificant versus the family member. So there's many reasons. However, I know when my friend, you know, a friend of mine, kind of told me his situation about kind of going out and all that and how they felt about it. So a situation in this particular one was that he could go out, you know, and he would do the stuff, but then she would ask him, hey, you know, can I go out and all that? And sure, he agreed to it. And then when the day came, he would kind of start flipping out, like on that day. So I mean, you know, we've had things of that nature, and I explained to him, because he's like, oh, you know, but I'm not sure what, you know, what is she gonna be doing? Let me tell you a little secret, guys. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, because you're with this person. You need to trust this person to a certain degree. That's just what it is. Because if you think that they're cheating on you, right? They're cheating on you. It doesn't matter. That's what it is. So you might say, well, David, you know, what are you talking about? How are they cheating on you if they're not cheating on you? Because in your mind, you think they're cheating on you. So it doesn't matter what they say or what they do. To you, they're cheating on you. So they're saying, hey, I'm going to work for 8 hours, right? So to you, they could be at work for 8 hours, or they could be gagging on cock for 8 hours. Don't know, right? No idea. Just the same way, you know, the guy, he could be at work for 8 hours, or he could be, you know, balls deep in pussy for 8 hours. Who really knows, right? So if you're with your partner, you're with this individual, you've decided to be with them, you trust them, right? To do what they say they're gonna do, or just don't, and then decide, okay, this isn't really for us. Now, granted, if there's something blatant, something in your face, then, by all means, just say, hey, obviously, look what's here, look what I found.
Yeah.
But I mean, if there's nothing giving you any of those signs, any of that, then you've chosen to be with this person, then just that's what it is.
Yeah, what it really boils down to is that you have to trust your partner. And yes, at some point in the relationship, you're going to have to establish what is permissible and what isn't, like what you're going to allow.
Boundaries.
What's allowable, exactly.
Boundaries.
So,
yeah.
If you don't like your man getting home at 2 a.m. drunk every night, or every single weekend, or going out on his own, but then when it's your turn to go out, he doesn't want to let you, then you have to stop that, nip it right in the bud from the very beginning. Because if you allow that to go on, and then all of a sudden you want to make a change, it's going to be very, very difficult. And if he's not willing to accept that change, then the best thing to do is move on from that relationship and just let that go. One thing that I can say also is that a person that's very insecure, yeah, they may never want to go out, and then they may never want to let you go out. They may never want to go out just to then, if you want to go out, exactly, whenever you're like, oh, but I want to go out this night. Oh, but what do you want to go out for? I never go out, So
yeah.
You really have you can't really throw that in my face that
that we can't go out.
Exactly.
So unfortunately, that there is some scenarios that people actually do, in relationships, and I've heard all kinds of crazy stuff of things that I guess people allow and or put up with, or what the case is, but definitely something that needs to be discussed at some point in the relationship, because it will cause issues. And I would like to say within the first 3 to 5 years, easily, because initially when you first start, there's all kinds of stuff, right? And if you make it, 3 years, then, you're already kind of getting to a spot. But you start to really hit those bumps, especially when you start looking at things like children getting thrown in the mix. And then you're looking, especially if the mom's a breastfeeder, all those kinds of things, then all that starts to play a role in the whole, well, hey, you got to take care of this, but and especially if you're the guy, it's so much easier for you to be like, well, you got this, you know what I'm saying, because I already worked, or whatever the case may be. So you definitely want to be considerate. It's definitely something that you want to have that conversation. That's really what it is. Eventually you're going to have that conversation and just say, hey, this is what it is. So
Yep.
Anyway, so we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks a lot. Again, comments are very welcome. We'd like to know what you guys think, what you think in the situation. Really, have you been through it? Somebody who's been through it. Maybe give us some of your story, give us some details on it, because we love to hear it. And even anything that's good for the relationship and all that's always good. And we like to just hear all kinds of different stories from different people to just go from there. And I'll answer back, of course, as best as I can. And if you have any questions for me or Marlene or anything of that nature, we're more than happy. But
And if you guys want to hear the crazy thing that I had to do, then, just, I don't know, what do you think? If we get like 100 likes, maybe we can talk about that in a different video.
Yeah, so, that'd be,
yeah.
I mean, I want to say that'd be cool, but I don't know if that'd be cool. But, okay, yeah, sure, absolutely. That's something we could definitely do. If
100 likes,
Yeah, that comes to be. But awesome, guys. Definitely, like I said, hit it up. Comments, suggestions, like, subscribe, of course, notifications. Boom, always. so that you can pick up on any more of the videos and anything that we decide to talk about or say or suggest it to and put up. All right. So thanks a lot, guys, and we will see you again soon enough.
Bye.